Hey, everybody. We've been talking about a lot of things over the past few weeks, and specifically those personal things, things that have helped me to manage throughout this season and really throughout the seasons before this. So, one of the things I wanted to bring up today was about career. Okay, so I work as a private business consultant, and I'm independent one at that. So, and I'm really thankful for the career I have and the lifestyle that I've been able to have. But this, of course, like with many others, did not come overnight. In my case, it was a very, very intentional choices that I've made leading up to this, which allowed me to have this career that I've always wanted. So the first thing I wanted to say is that oftentimes we think that um, our life and our lives and our careers are kind of separate, if you know what I mean. Like we often talk about work-life balance, if you like, and I read somewhere that it makes more sense to talk about it as work-life harmony, because when you say balance, that kind of suggests that one has to give way to the other at any other time, but you can't have them always like in that consistent balance. So I like to think of it as harmony because they're one and the same. And so I wanted to share with you the approach that I use because I really, really believe this is going to be useful to people, and it's worked for me. It's worked for a lot of others that I have had the opportunity to coach over the years, and it also made me think this morning about our brothers and sisters in Fiji Airways and how so many people right now must be in this a state of shock, if you like, because what happens now. And if there are any listening here, I just want to encourage you, get excited because change is exciting, and this is not the end of the world by any means. By any means, okay? So, anyway, just back to the approach that I use. Again, I like to be very practical so people can watch these videos and pick up something I say or I've learned, and go and implement it if you think it works for you, because it has definitely worked for me. So, when it comes to career, the first thing that I've learned to do is to think about what I want my life to look like. Put the job aside, put the job to one side, put away any titles or any companies or anything, and just think about what do you want your life to look like in the future. What is your ideal situation? And I've had people in my team say things like, I just want to wake up every morning and surf, and that's it. And I want to surf and surf and surf, and then drink beer and have something to eat and go to sleep. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. What is it that you want your life to look like? And then when you have that picture, and remember, this picture, it won't come easily for some people because we've never had to think about it. So don't stress yourself out and feel like you have to come up with it, in a day or a few days, especially if you have a family, because you'll have to talk with your spouse because you have dreams together or things you want to do together. But anyway, get that picture. And once you have that picture, ask yourself, why aren't I able to do that today? What is stopping me from doing that today? And then you will find that you have a list of things that you will need to either upskill in, or maybe it's capital, you'll need to fund that. So for that example of the surfer, I said to this team member, so why can't you just do that? And he said, well, because I don't have enough money. And why don't you have enough money? Because I don't get paid enough, or something like that, he was saying. And so as we spoke through it, what then became his career goals was to focus on getting jobs that paid a lot so that he could put money aside. And also he was thinking that he'd invest in some property, do some flips so he can build his capital. So you see what happens then is that all of a sudden there's specific things or specific actions that will come out of this, and you become very intentional about the choices you make. Plus, you don't miss opportunities when they come. If you do not have this clarity, opportunities could just pass you by, and then you're still sitting in the same place. So similarly, for me, what happened in my case was I wanted to be in a position where I could travel as much as I wanted to. Sometimes, if I wanted to go on a 2-month trip or a month's trip, I wanted to be able to do that, to afford it, and have the time flexibility to do that. And so, for me, what I thought that looked like was a consultant, right? Because I knew consultants get good money. I'd also be able to work on things that I'm passionate about, and then I can take more time off. If I don't want to work for a month, I don't have to work for a month, right? And so throughout the years, easily over the past 5 to 8 years, my choice of roles and opportunities I've taken have been those that are getting me closer to what my goal is. And surprisingly, that took me out of my comfort zone. It took me to different countries. It took me into roles that I never thought I'd consider. Because what you start doing then is that when roles are advertised, you're not looking just at the titles, but you're looking at what the role requirements are. And you're looking at it and say, oh, look, this role requires me to, I don't know, interact with the government officials. That's something that I need to get to here, and so I'll apply for that. So this approach has taken me from projects to risk, to looking after regional functions like sales for the Pacific. It's even taken me out of the country to look after a business. My degree is in IT. Who would have thought that an IT graduate would be looking after a retail business for a country? Crazy, right? But remember, when you're intentional and you're clear about where you're going, it's not only easier for you to identify opportunities, but people you speak to and you interview with, they will hear this come through. So, first thing we do is stop, take a break, and if you're one of those who have had their jobs or their hours reduced or lost jobs, this is a perfect time to do this. Don't be discouraged. Use this opportunity to refocus, to reassert yourself, and you cannot even imagine what the future holds. And I promise you it's going to be good. So take some time, think about where you want to be, and just put some steps into how do you close that gap to get to the ultimate place where you need to be. Remember, it's not separate from your career, it's not separate from your life. Your career is really a positive enabler to help you have the life that you want. Now, I really hope this helps somebody. Please just message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to chat or share some other things that I've done to help me on this journey. You guys have a great day.